Welcome back for Chapter 9. It's the last chapter in our story of School's Out by Joanna Hurwitz, and I'm reading with permission from the Scholastic Book Company. The last chapter is called Au revoir, Genevieve. That's French for bye. Mrs. Cott took Lucas shopping for back-to-school clothes. How could we have gone to all these stores without Genevieve? She asked Lucas. New clothing, especially clothes to wear to school, was not important to Lucas, so he didn't wonder how they could have managed a shopping trip if they didn't have Genevieve to watch Marcus and Marius. On the other hand, he did wonder how it would feel when she was gone. 2 more days, and Genevieve would be flying home to France. 4 more days, and Lucas would be beginning fourth grade. It's been a wonderful summer for me, said Mrs. Cott to Lucas, but I think it wasn't as good as it could have been for you. It was great, Lucas protested. Summer's the best season of the year. I just wish it had lasted longer, he added. Summer is a wonderful time of year, said Mrs. Cott, but I think next summer it will be even better for you. Your father and I have been discussing sending you to sleepaway camp for a few weeks next year. What do you think of that? Sleepaway camp, said Lucas with surprise. He thought of all the things he had heard kids at school say about summer camps. It sounded as if it might be loads of fun. In fact, he wished it was the next summer already. Will Genevieve come back next year? Asked Lucas. If he was away at camp, he would miss seeing her. No, said Mrs. Scott. Next year, Genevieve wants to spend some time in England. Oh, said Lucas. Perhaps she'll be able to come and visit with us again sometime, said Mrs. Cott. I'm going to miss her. Me too, said Lucas. The whole family is going to miss the au pair girl. She had become a regular part of their household. The day before Genevieve left, Mrs. Cott wanted to prepare a special meal. Oh, no, Genevieve protested. Please let me cook the food for this evening. I want to make a real French dinner for you. It will give me much pleasure. So Lucas and his mother took the twins off to the playground for the afternoon, and Genevieve stayed home to cook. Lucas wondered what kind of food Genevieve would cook for the French meal. Luckily, they didn't sell horse meat around here. He'd heard that French people ate other weird things like snails and frogs, though. He didn't remember seeing those items for sale at the supermarket either. What would Genevieve cook? The farewell dinner was delicious. First there was something called pâté. It tasted a little bit like liverwurst. It was made in France, and Genevieve had brought a small can of it from home in her luggage. I was planning to give it to you all summer, she said, beaming. Next, there was a casserole with meat cut up in little pieces, with mushrooms and onions and gravy. Lucas wondered briefly if it could be horse meat after all, but he was relieved when Genevieve said they were eating beef bourguignon. She pronounced it differently from the way he did, but he knew he was chewing good old American beef. Once he knew what he was eating, Lucas thought it tasted fine. There was salad, with mustard in the dressing. It's French Dijon mustard, of course, said Genevieve. Lucas thought mustard belonged on hot dogs and not in salad, but he was polite and ate a small portion. Even the twins were behaving very well for boys their age. They didn't spill any of their food, and they kept busy chewing on pieces of the crusty French bread that Genevieve had been able to buy in town. Of course, the best part of the meal was dessert. It was like a big peach pie to Lucas. Genevieve insisted it was a tart. Lucas didn't care what you called it. It was good. Now I'm going to make a speech, announced Genevieve as the meal came to an end. A speech, said Mr. Cott. Yes, I've written a special speech, said Genevieve. She reached into the pocket of the skirt she was wearing and pulled out a folded piece of paper. She opened the paper and looked around the table. I'm going to try and use some of the new expressions you taught me this summer. My notebook is almost full, and my head is full too, she said. She cleared her throat and began reading. It's nothing to sneeze at, to travel to so many miles and miles to live with another family, she began. When I got on the airplane in Paris, I was in a stew. I had cold feet. First I felt blue, then I felt chicken. But I tried to be brave. I knew it would not be a piece of cake to take care of twin brothers. Perhaps I would get fired before the summer was over. Luckily, I had the help of Lucas. I discovered that Lucas likes to horse around and pull my leg. At first he bugged me, but Lucas was a big help. When it was raining cats and dogs, Lucas played with his brothers so they would not get bored. He also helped me with my English. Now I'm going home. I'm going to miss you all. I hope someday you will come to France to visit me. Au revoir. Lucas' mother got up from her place and hugged Genevieve. We're all going to miss you too, she said, wiping tears from her eyes. Lucas turned to his brothers. We have a surprise for Genevieve, he said. Are you ready? He asked Marcus and Marius. Lucas had been coaching them for the past week. It was not easy to find time when Genevieve was not around, nor was it easy for boys as young as Marcus and Marius to keep a secret. Somehow they had managed. Now they could show off to everyone. 1, 2, 3, go, said Lucas. The twins began singing. Frère Jacques, frère Jacques, bonjour. They're singing in French! Genevieve squealed with delight. Lucas' parents knew he had been teaching the song to the boys, but they were surprised too at how well they performed. Marcus and Marius sang the final words of the song. Genevieve got out of her seat and ran and gave them each a kiss. Then she turned to put her arms around Lucas. You're a wonderful brother to the little boys, and I think you are like a brother to me too, she said. She gave Lucas a big kiss on each cheek. Lucas' face turned bright red. Somehow, though, he didn't really mind being kissed by Genevieve. He knew he was going to miss her a lot. It was another of those surprises that didn't come in a box. Sometimes they could be a lot better than you expected. And that's the end of our story. Did you enjoy our story? I think it was a great story about brothers and sisters and getting along with friends. Okay. I hope you and your brothers and sisters get along today and have a great day. See you again next time for my next story.